The Houston Rockets are one of the better younger teams in the NBA with basically a ton of really good young talent on the team. Now, I will say that obviously, like Houston Rockets weren't good this season. 17 and 55 is not that good, but we already have some really good core pieces, some really good young core pieces on this roster that could definitely help us win the championship within the next few years. So, what's up? My name is Jae'sean. Today, we're talking about why you shouldn't sleep on the Houston Rockets. But before that, really quick, if you guys like the video, drop them below, press subscribe button, and let's get to the video. So, the Houston Rockets, I definitely feel like we're kind of a sleeper team in the NBA because depending on how our season goes next year, we could honestly make a deep playoff push, maybe like a first round, second round exit that no one will expect because obviously, like, we're not a really good team. I mean, we have a lot of good young core pieces and Kevin Porter Jr., who's just 21 years old. We have Christian Wood, who's only 25. We have Jae'sean Tate, who's only 25. KJ Martin, who's only 20 years old. It's just we have a lot of good young pieces on this roster that honestly, like, if they develop well in the future, they could definitely help us get a championship within the next, not necessarily like 3 to 5 years, maybe like 6, 7, 8 years around there. So just down the line, man, I mean, they're going to be really important for us to start winning games pretty soon. I mean, and then obviously we got veterans like John Wall and DJ Augustine, who obviously like can mentor our young guys like Armani Brooks, Kevin Porter Jr., and then also we have Eric Gordon, who can mentor some guys off the bench. So I don't know, man. Like, we have a lot of good young core pieces, and then add on that we have 3 first-round picks this year, including the second pick and the 23rd and the 24th. We have a lot of options here. I mean, honestly, like with the second pick, it could either go with Jalen Green or Cade Cunningham. Either one is fine because they're both young, good, really, really good young core pieces right there that can build around a team that can develop really well. So, and then there's that. And then 23 and 24, you can maybe package Eric Gordon and 23 for a lottery pick, maybe 14, maybe, I don't know, the 14th pick with Golden State. I mean, I've seen some rumors going around Eric Gordon, our 23rd for the 14th pick, which honestly, like, wouldn't be too bad. And then keep the 24th pick to see some young hidden talent, maybe some hidden gems. So the Houston Rockets, I definitely feel like we're an underrated team when it comes to finding hidden talent because obviously we found a lot of hidden talent within like the last few years. I mean, if you look at what Daniel House has been doing in the last few years, he did have a really good season last year. Was absolutely phenomenal. If you take a look at his stats from last year, he did average 10.5 points, one assist and 4 rebounds. Really good, pretty good, like, overall stats for a role player. And then he did shoot 43% from the field and 36% from three, which is actually really good. He is a career 36% three-point shooter, which is pretty good. So, with Daniel House, we definitely turned him into a solid role player. And if you also look, Ben McLemore was also someone that we definitely found like out. I mean, like, not necessarily like found out because he was drafted seventh overall. I forgot what draft class he was in, but we definitely kind of revitalized Ben McLemore's career because for the most part, he was mostly just a role player on the Kings and just bounced in and out of the league. But, over the season, Ben McLemore, if you take a look at his stats, I mean, he was absolutely amazing for us. Not this year, though, because, I don't know, with Steven Silas' system, which wasn't really that good, but if we take a look at his Houston stats, he averaged, in 2019-2020, he averaged 10 points per game, 2 rebounds, and basically 1 assist. He shot 40% from three, which is absolutely amazing, and then 44% from the field. So really good stats from Ben Mack. Obviously, he's on the Lakers now because he's really didn't get any playing time on the Rockets, but he is a really good shooter, man. Really underrated shooter, good spot up shooter. And then obviously, like, this year, we found Jae'Sean Tate. We found, not necessarily found Christian Wood, but we kind of made him into a really good player, a better player than he was last season. We kind of revitalized Kelly Olynyk's career, Kyrie Thomas, Anthony Lamb. Like, we have a lot of good scouting reports, man. A lot of good scouts out there that just, like, find good hidden talent. I mean, Rafael Stone is probably like the center mastermind of this whole plan. I mean, we got David Nawal, but we got Kevin Porter Jr. for a second-round pick, man. I mean, just a lot of things on this team that are going so right now after the James Harden trade. Just the rebuilding process right now is definitely on the right track right now. It could have been a lot more better if the James Harden trade panned out a little bit better, getting a lot more younger assets other than Karis LeVert and Victor Oladipo. We're trading Karis LeVert for Victor Oladipo, trading Oladipo for Olynyk and then Bradley. So it could have been a lot better. We could have gotten a lot better players like Jaylen Brown, something like that. Ben Simmons. I mean, like, Ben Simmons, not really, because, obviously it probably wouldn't work out because the type of season he had, it probably wouldn't work out. But we could have had, like, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, some picks, but we did get 4 first-round picks and then 4 swaps with the Harden trade. So yeah, definitely a good haul in terms of picks, but in terms of players, we basically got Kelly Olynyk and Avery Bradley back, which Olynyk has been pretty amazing for us, I'm not gonna lie. Would definitely bring him back if he wants 12-13 million around, and he's starting, so hopefully he does come back because he's been absolutely amazing. Just the thought about John Wall, KPJ, Jae'Sean Tate, Kelly Olynyk, and then Christian Wood, that starting 5 seems pretty good. And then off the bench, Jalen Green, hopefully he's our 6th man. We tried trading Eric Gordon for Golden State's pick. I definitely would like that trade, wouldn't be too mad about it, and honestly, like, would be absolutely amazing. Get into the first round pick, basically get a lottery pick in this draft would be absolutely amazing. So, and then honestly, like, just to talk about our free agents, I mean, Sterling Brown's free agent, Dante Exum's a free agent. Who else? Andy Lamb, I think he's a free agent, but he's restricted. That's basically it. I want to say DJ Wilson's a restricted free agent. I want to say Nawab is also a unrestricted free agent, and Olynyk's unrestricted. So, out of those players, I mean, we have a lot of good players. We're definitely not bringing back Dante Exum or Lamb. I mean, Lamb was absolutely horrible for us. He did have some stretches, but it just wasn't that good. So Lamb and Exum are both out. Bradley, I think he's also a free agent too. We declined Avery Bradley's team option, so we're not bringing him back. Brooks, I still don't know why we haven't extended his contract. He was on a 2-way. I think we should just sign him to a guaranteed contract, man. I mean, he's been absolutely amazing for us. Shot the 3 ball at an absolutely high clip. I want to say it was actually 38% from 3, which is really good. So I think he was our best 3-point shooter over the season, alongside Kelly Olynyk, who I want to say shot 34% from 3, which isn't that bad. So yeah, other than that, I mean, Olynyk, Brooks, I think we should bring back Brooks and Olynyk, and then make the choice between Nwaba or Brown. I mean, Nwaba definitely has a little bit of a better side to Sterling Brown because he has defense. He is 28 years old. I think he's the better player over them. That Sterling Brown, he's a good 3-and-D player, man. I think his defense is definitely underrated. Someone that can shoot the 3 ball very well. So honestly, I wouldn't be too mad about bringing back both of them, but we won't have enough roster spots on the team. I think we should package House into another trade package because he's just not getting any playing time, and he has been injured over the season, so wouldn't make any sense to bring back an injury prone 28-year-old. But the upside to his game is that he is on a cheap contract. Man. So some teams might be able to take him. A 28-year-old forward that's not really that bad, so that can shoot the 3 ball, play some defense, has some okay athleticism. If we trade House, then we could probably keep Brown and Nwaba, but I'm just assuming that Nwaba is gonna leave in free agency because I definitely feel like he might go a contender, man. I feel like he's gonna, I don't know, I feel like he doesn't want to play for a rebuilding team, man. I mean, I definitely want him to go to Portland. It's definitely an interesting landing place because Nwaba, I think he'd be really good in Portland. Coming off the bench, defense and offensively, he'd be absolutely amazing for them because that's what they both need. Well, that's what they need on the Portland Trail Blazers defense because they don't have any defense off the bench and they don't really have that much offensive firepower off the bench. So I just feel like Nawab is going to leave in free agency, which honestly is fine. At least we can keep Sterling Brown, maybe get him on a low, cheap deal. But yeah, other than that, I mean, the only things that are really down to this team is that John Wall, I think he needs to get out of here because he's going to be making some hefty money pretty soon. Eric Gordon, he's already making some hefty money, 16 million. Yeah, just only like those two are only the 2 problems on this roster. But like other than that, we don't really have too much problems on here. Other than that, I don't know, man. I mean, this roster is definitely going to look really interesting next year. Having either Jalen Green or Cade Cunningham, and then who we get with the 23rd and 24th pick, if we decide to keep it. But for the most part, we definitely have a really good young team, probably one of the best young teams in the NBA. And hopefully Rafael Stone drafts the right players. So that's the video. Check the video, drop in below, press subscribe button, and peace.